Hi, people.
Bitch.
What's up? It's Friday. You know what that means? It means no dating sims tonight. Yay! I don't have to be tortured by Gojo and his blinding six-pack anymore.
That's
Or
all
You know
right.
what?
four-pack.
But you know
That's all
what?
right. We'll return soon.
We're still trying to figure something out.
Well, no. Look at the title.
Yeah. What's our title?
So this was inspired. This was inspired because one of the wrestling shows I watch has started to incorporate AI in their matches. So
Hey.
3 weeks ago was watching a man riding another man like a horsey. And then after that, he got smacked in the ass. Not only that, the promo that they did before the match, one of them was like, I am going to beat you. I am going to hold you. I am going to open your ass. I was like, and everyone on Blue Sky, like, wait a minute, what did he just say?
What the hell? What the hell is going on in the wrestling world, brother?
Then
Hell,
the
it's
other
turned
one,
into some type
and then,
of kinky ass shit. I'm liking it.
and then the other one was like, after the match, you will know my name. You will say my name out loud. I was like, God damn.
Say my
Hey, put on a rubber, guys.
Well, they technically are wearing trunks. So
Well,
Yeah.
as long as they're not using passwords, I guess we're okay.
so I was like, okay. And then not only that, the next week there were like two wrestlers like face to face with each other, and the whole crowd was chanting, kiss, kiss,
Oh,
kiss.
somebody let Gene Simmons in the room.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of LGBTQ fans in the audience. So they were just like,
Ever
please,
since
kiss.
I think ever since they brought that stuff up, you're gonna get more people like that.
Oh yeah, no, there's gonna be more fans like that. And then what was it? Oh, and then on the women's side of things, they actually did some lesbian storylines. So there's like one moment where like a women's wrestler was allowing another woman to get hit in the ass,
Oh shit! Holy
and
crap!
and then online people were like, it should have been me, not her.
It's not fair.
Sorry, Monkey
Yeah,
Boy.
exactly. That whole meme.
That meme.
The only one good thing from Yu-Gi-Oh was that meme. Um, And then they did a literal Hank Hill section where it's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and then it's like a literal, actual like kicking her ass.
That thing is, audience, this is all true. Joey showed this shit to us in the Discord. And we're like, what the hell?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they had a four-way match with four women, and they made a literal human centipede.
Oh, God,
Oh.
the nightmare of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, not in
actually heard.
the way the movie was, but it looked like. I mean, if you really think about it, if you looked at all four positions, it looked like an orgy. And people pointed it out, it's like, what is going on with these shows? They're just incorporating. It's like, and the fans are like, oh, you know what they're doing, and you know who they're.
As an asexual, how does this make you feel?
Oh God, everybody's laughing. Everybody's having a fun time with it. That's the fun part about it, because I have to with them, and they're just like, so open. Like one guy's got like one guy's like dating another woman, but on the side he has like an actual like Japanese, well, not an actual, but he travels with like one of his tag team partners, and he's like, this is my Japanese husband, and he's like, and the Japanese guy's like, this is my Australian husband, and together we travel
I call him my work husband, as most people would call.
Well, they don't even call themselves work husbands; they call them husbandos. They call
Hey,
each
I like that better.
Bro.
And then one wrestler was like, "Oh, I forgot my wife." Literally, just grabs like one of her best friends and then just like carries her over her shoulder, like, "This is my wife. I'm going away now."
Okay, King Kong.
So yes, this was all inspired to me to start reading some Yaoi stories.
Let's get this party started.
Well, okay, so there's fan fiction, there's fiction, and then there's nonfiction.
Non-fiction, non-fiction, non-fiction.
You just want to where it's the real deal, huh?
Dude, I want to know what type of sick fucking crazy people are out there these days, because I have a very fucking vast clue of what type of people there is, but I want to know more.
Okay, so here's some featured nonfiction ones. So there's Inner Organs.
Mm-hmm.
There's Inner Organs. There's Commentary on Society.
Commentary? Oh.
My Daily Journal.
Oh?
I have a question. Was these written by neckbeards?
Well, no. You know what AI is, right?
I know what AI is. I'm just fucking around. Maybe the AI is secretly a neckbeard. Hmm.
Wait, are you saying that there's women neckbeards out there?
Yes, there's AI neckbeards. It can be anything it wants to be as long as you program.
Aren't they usually called legbeards?
Legbeards are the female versions.
Oh, because they don't shave their legs?
Yes. And that's the idea behind a legbeard.
Okay, so there's one called Why We're Funny. There's one called Best of Reddit for Your Entertainment. There's Hospital Case. There's Cute, Cheesy, and Funny Pickup Lines. There's Fire. All right, I'm giving too many names out. So which one? We got to pick one.
Which one do you think, Circus?
I don't know. I think go to the hospital.
Something with a hospital, you're saying?
I say go with the hospital one.
All right, hospital.
The Inner Organs?
Whatever, just pick one. I don't care.
Well, this one says Hospital Case, so we can read this one out.
I don't know what they're about, so there we go. Because you make me go blind with this shit.
We're going in vanilla.
Yep.
Okay, so this is nonfiction. So this is not fan fiction. So when people are talking about their fantasies,
I can show you the world, shining splendor.
Hey, shut your mouth. We're gonna get sued for copyright.
Fuck Disney. And besides, I'm not using the actual song. I'm using my actual voice. It's a cover. They can't do shit about that.
I was gonna say you could have gone the whole Dio route. You could have gone Zoe.
Oh yeah, there's a fucking clip out there where someone's singing "It's a whole nude world." Seriously,
there's also that infamous rumor that during one part of the Aladdin, take off your clothes or something like that.
Yeah,
what?
I heard too.
I don't remember. I don't know where people have heard that in the movie because I'm trying to think, and it's like, wait a minute, what are they people talking about? Anyway, this is Hospital Case, and this is from a reader. This is from an author called Hot Chocolates.
Any relation to Jeff and his salty balls?
Well, that's an AI story for you. Hello there, children. I'm gay. What?
Yeah, you got fucked by that Loch Ness monster who wanted $350 from him.
Goddamn Loch Ness monster! Give my damn $350.
All right. So it says, "Hey, reader. Hope you've been having a good day, or at least an average one. Finals are coming soon to kill us. So these are coming to kill us all.
Finals are killing us. Killing us.
All I can hear is shark music.
I was actually carrying that Family Guy song called "Christmas Time is Killing Us."
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I'm not here to talk about that. Instead, I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me this Thursday. Oh, this is also a pretty long story. Really, really long. So grab some snacks and get comfy.
Low man. It's long around me without me singing that.
Well, there's a nice story for you. Somebody should continue that in fan fiction form. All right.
God damn it. I'm just getting comfy. I'm just sitting up in bed. Don't mind me.
All right. So this Thursday, I had to go to the hospital. No, I wasn't sick or anything. Our hospital has a volunteering program where kids that have graduated 8th grade can have a go at helping out sick people. The process to actually get in is pretty long.
Bro.
First, there's the application where you answer a ton of questions that seem exactly the same. Why do you want to join our program? What will you do in our program? How will this program help you?
Take a shot every time when people say program.
Okay, I want to join your program because I'm here to fuck up the system. Any more questions?
This is your brain on drugs.
This is your brain on circuses. Nightmare.
I turned in my application in July, and man, there were a ton of applications, like at least 200. After like 2 weeks, you get a phone call from the hospital telling you your application has been accepted, and they can give you info about your first interview, like the date and time. Actually, I didn't take the phone when they called me once, twice, 3 times. Eventually, I called them back once I figured out who was calling me, and they were pretty pissed at me. But hey, I was still accepted.
Good Lord, Homer Simpson.
The first interview was exhilarating. I was in summer school at that time, and I could hear the flurry of kids in the high school freaking out about the interview and asking practically anyone around them for advice on what to do. On the day of the interview, I was all dressed up like I was going to a party. I never wear dresses, but I did for that occasion. I get to the hospital and go to the front desk. The dude there gave me a sticker saying, "Volunteer services." "You know how to get there?" he asks. Me, "Actually, no." The dude hands me a map and tells me, "Go to the elevators. It's pretty simple from there."
On the map. On the map.
I had never gotten more lost anywhere else. I get to the second floor and I'm thinking, yep, I'm a goner, because all the hospital halls look exactly the same. I'm walking here and there, taking lefts and rights and ups and downs. I mean, I passed a bunch of nurses on my voyage, but my pride stopped.
Willy Wonka?
Well, at least Willy Wonka's factory had different walls. Somebody has actually worked in a hospital for 2 years. I know exactly what they're talking about. Everything looks the same. Eventually, once you get a layout of the hospital, once you've been there enough times, you know exactly what it's like. Oh, look, speaking from experience, yes. I can tell you hospital stories one of these days. Well, not really, because I've forgotten most of them. But
just to let everyone know, Sylph is not feeling well, so Sylph will come back soon.
Audience Sylph for now.
Yes, audience Sylph for now.
Let's see. I found myself in so many places: the waiting room, patient hallways, dark, poopy halls.
What
does that mean? It's like poopy with an S in the front of the word. I think they meant spooky, but they used P instead. I don't know.
No, I'm not so full.
Yeah, it's supposed to say spooky, but they like to be a little
dramatic.
You know.
So if we're starting to say there's shit on the walls, I would say that.
No, this is not buddy Christian.
This is not This is actually from Quotev. Anyway, the cafeteria and even back to the elevator. After like 20 minutes, I actually got where I was supposed to be. To be honest, the interview itself wasn't too bad. I was pulled in by a nice Asian lady with too much eye makeup, but it wasn't too bad.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I'm decent with speaking, but this interview had me so stressed and tongue-twisted. Let me give you an example. The lady says, describe yourself in 3 words. Me. Kind. Selfless. Nice. My brain slaps the inside of my head. Afterwards, I spend another 20 minutes lost in the labyrinth of halls and eventually use a different elevator to get to the front desk. Another 2 weeks pass. I got another call, and me being me, I forgot to attend it. I call them again, and the person on the other end is at least slightly less pissed than last time. I'd made it to the second interview. Me, the blubbering idiot who couldn't describe herself even with her life at stake, had made it. Miracles do exist!
Aww, somebody give her a round of applause.
I was pumped. They gave me the date and time again and tell me, we'll see you there. I feel sad for the people who didn't make it in. They got a rejection letter in their mail saying they didn't make it. That must have sucked.
Bro, why you gotta rub it into their faces, dude?
Well, you know, it's like Max getting that date from Roxanne. It's like you're in the process of dancing at that moment.
Until your father comes along saying he can take you on a fishing trip.
Oh, yeah, I heard you got a job. Well, time to put in your inflation. Dad, I can make a lot of money. Nope, as long as I'm your father, I'm at home.
And I'm going to follow you to college next year, Maxie.
Yep, and mine I'm going to learn how to skateboard.
Foreshadowing. That's the foreshadowing, bro.
So a few more weeks pass, and it's the day of the second interview. They didn't tell us if we had to dress formally, so I did just in case. When I get to the front desk, the new guy there tells me, just follow the orange signs. You won't believe this, but I almost screwed up that part up too. Almost. This kind nurse saw me turning around in circles and pointed me to the glass door that led me outside. I get there and I'm sweating. There's like 50 other people and over half of them were casually dressed. We're all called into one of the rooms and there are like 15 people waiting inside, all but one lady wearing a blue polo with khaki pants. The lady introduces herself. I'll be honest, she reminded me a lot of Oscar the Grouch, but possibly nicer. Well, I would say she's probably not in a trash can. Last, I've heard all the volunteers both respect and fear her. So let's give her a nickname too. How about Mrs. Brew?
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Sorry, I want coffee, but yeah, Mrs. Brew. Sorry, I turned my vibration back on my bed. Anyway.
Oh, hey. Vibrating bed. You got yourself really so up there, Joey.
Because, yeah, it's relaxing.
So
anyway,
I don't even know either.
Oscar the Grouch, but nicer? Pick one.
It's like the whole Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing.
When he's making fun of Joe Pesci, he's nice.
Jester's like, fuck him.
Anyway. First, she thanks all the people who wore formal dressing. I was like, thank the gods! We were supposed to dress like this. Then she split the group of people into two. One group was sent away with the half of the people in polos to another classroom, Mrs. Brew trailing behind. The other half, including me, stayed behind.
For some reason, I want just you to call her Mrs. Butterworth for some damn reason.
We were separated into rows of 5. The remaining polos sat themselves down in desks out in front of us. Then guess what they start doing? They call each one of us up name by name to the front of everyone. Then they ask each of us one question. It could be anything from, how would your peers describe you, to what would you do if a patient wasn't satisfied with their burger?
What?
Well, I mean, hey, if you're gonna have the hospital version of Good Burger, you got to be prepared.
I have never heard of that.
Well, I mean, volunteers sometimes actually go into the cafeteria and cook food.
Oh.
I used to volunteer in a hospital, so when I wasn't discharging, I would go into the cafeteria, and there would be volunteers back there. They would take care of the register. They didn't actually cook the burgers. I should take that back. They would help with the register. They would help with getting condiments. They would just help with, like, if you needed to have the chairs cleaned or the tables cleaned, even the windows cleaned. But anyway, as you answer, they stare into your soul with their deep, dark, penetrating eyes with not even a ghost of a smile on their face. This was an introvert's worst nightmare. The worst part, you could tell exactly the personality of each person by the way they answer. Some people stepped up confident and loud. Others were as quiet as a mouse, and you can hear them fidgeting one way or the other. Then I was called. Ganga Prasnith? Except they announced it like Gianga. No, people, it's Gianga.
It's Helga, not Haga.
It's not Fifi, it's DINI. Like short A, also the G's like G as in Garfield. So many people have said my name wrong. I mean, I can't blame them, and I'm sure they're trying their best, but I can't help but mentally hug the person who says it right and isn't Indian. Okay. All Indians from Asia out there and others with complex names can relate. I'm like, actually, it's Ganga. And they're just like, yeah, okay. I go up there, and they get all businesslike again. Oh, and I forgot to mention this, but they're all high schoolers. Sort of hard to take them seriously when they might as well be in your biology class. They ask me, you have a big math test today, but you didn't study. What do you do? My answer? Actually, I wouldn't forget because my parents would probably kill me if that happened, and I have a planner and all. I'm met with 7 pairs of eyeballs of the polos glaring at me. Something makes me think this is like racism. It's just like, who is she? And why is she wanting to take our jobs?
Oh, Lord.
If she's feeling that way. I hurriedly continue, but if I did somehow forget, I guess I would study somehow anyways, and ask friends who already how the test was, and if I failed, then I'd ask my teacher for extra help and stuff. Yep. I said all of this as loud as I could, and by the fact it took me only a few seconds to get all that out, I said it pretty darn fast, too. They excused me and continued down the list of victims. I noticed that everyone else got called up twice except for me, and I'm just thinking, yep, I screwed this up pretty bad. We finish up, and it's time for the second portion of the interview. The Polos split our group of 25-ish people into groups of 5. I'm put in a group of 4 girls and a guy. None I've ever seen before. Then they throw a few straws and a tape dispenser our way and tell us each group has 5 minutes to make the tallest straw tower possible. However, you are each allowed to only use one hand. Whoever has the tallest tower wins. Your time begins now.
Time to play What Would You Do?
And that's exactly what we do. I try to support everyone and hiss, look, guys, if we want to take it all into Methodist, screw winning this thing. Just act really positive when we should all work as a team. We try our best with a polo shirt watching us closely. Of course, we don't win, but whatever. The right thing was that we looked good in front of our quote-unquote judges. But wait, there's more.
Uh-oh.
Then came the final portion of the interview. In our same groups, we were instructed to create a short skit of 2 minutes about a PSA they would give us. We had 5 minutes to present. To be honest, I don't remember what I got, but there was a bunch like, is marijuana good or bad? Or should California continue the death penalty?
Okay, I can answer. Marijuana's good, and yes, you should continue the death penalty. Especially
our group used the same tactics as before and do the real acting during the planning. But soon we were actually cooperating really well. 5 minutes passed and we were taken to the room with the other group of people so we could all see each other's scripts. All of them were actually pretty darn funny. This was the only part of the He interview that I really enjoyed. Everyone was acting like drunken monkeys and the laughter was contagious. I swear, I even saw some of the polos crack the final. After the final act about why it isn't smart to drink and drive, we're free to leave. I was exhausted, hungry, and out of breath, but also surprisingly happy. It was a good feeling. I go home, I go to summer school, a week passes. I check my email, and guess what sweet surprise I found there? A lovely email from Mrs. Brew telling me I'd made it in and that the orientation was on. My heart dropped. The orientation was in late July, a few days after summer school. The downside, an hour after summer school ended, I had to catch a plane to India with the rest of my family. We were staying for 3 weeks, way after the orientation. I immediately emailed Brew telling her about this fault. She emails me the next day telling me it's all right and I'll be on the waiting list for the next orientation sometime in late fall. It left me both relaxed and tense. I really wanted to start in August, but now I had no choice but to wait it out. And if it's one thing anyone's learned after meeting me, it's that I'm really impatient. But I waited it out. Finally, in late October, I received a call, which I did not attend the first time, but instead I called them at school and piss off the hospital people again. So rather, I called them, telling me the info about the orientation that was going to take place in November. I'm going to stop here because my fingers are starting to cramp up from all the typing. I can hear them whining, "What did we do wrong?"
Damn.
But I'll continue in another post. Trust me, there are going to be a lot of hospital cases because I'm planning to stick with this volunteering program until I'm shipped off to college. So stay tuned for the next hospital case reader.
Yawn.
Like, what were you expecting?
I don't know, some crazy ass doctor.
Well, maybe that's in the further chapters. You don't know.
Let me see then, sir.
Well, it doesn't look like there's been any other things because this was posted in 2017 and it's been 8 years.
Oh.
Okay, do we want to continue nonfiction or go with fan fiction or fiction?
I need something to wake my butt up.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so in the fan fiction section, there's Don't Let Go, Sasunaru. Right. This is story of Sasuke and Naruto.
Oh, God, no.
No.
Okay. My Demon Husband.
Compared to what?
So it says, enjoy the life which is filled with wholesomeness, gaze, and the comedy of the romance between our laid-back adult human and his lifelong soulmate of a demon goofball.
Death Note?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Doesn't say what fandom it is?
All right, so this next one is called Another Senju. Hikari Senju is Sundande's child. She is, however, dropped off at the house of a certain Uchicha family who took her in as their own. Oh, God, this is like 200 fucking pages. No way.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't want you to die of a fucking, like, hernia by reading it.
Voltron? I don't know Voltron very well.
It's like a fucking anime show from the 80s.
God, Crimson Mercury. Make out on aisle 5.
Good lord! Somebody
oh God! It says Danganronpa in the tags.
No!
Let's do it.
No!
Oh God! It says when Shuichi got his first part-time job, he really didn't expect this.
No! Please, no! I'm gonna fucking kill you someday.
Hey, I'm not the one voting on it.
Oh, Sopha's like, wait for me.
You need to get in here for us to do that, Soph.
Soph's not feeling well. Leave them alone.
I was talking about next week, Mooney. Yes.
Sopha's like, do it, do it, do it, do
no!
it.
God damn it!
Mandayu.
This is gonna make me cringe so hard.
It's like, it's fine. I can push myself.
Don't you push yourself.
Okay, there's one called Who Are You Now?
I'm me.
Says Miso Akio is a boy who lived in a small town but recently moved to Tokyo. He's 16 years old. Okay, this is teenagers. Never mind.
Yep, never mind.
No lolly. I don't need to do any lolly on this fucking show.
Demon in my closet.
It
says,
can we get an outline of the story?
It says Travis was a boy who had no friends at all for his whole life. He had no friends since, well, forever. He only had one friend in his life, but that was when he was in daycare, but sadly they left daycare.
Wait.
What?
What? I guess they died?
Let's see. Wrapped in the Moonlight Wrath. Oh, this is based on Hetalia.
I have never seen Natalia. That's my problem.
Okay, there's a Five Nights at Freddy's one.
Oh my god. There's one for everything.
Okay, there's I don't know, Thoughts. I don't know what that means.
No thoughts, head empty on my end. Ugh.
He's like, I'm gonna show you crazy. Oh, it's on hiatus, so it wouldn't matter reading it because it's like, don't. Okay.
I feel like we're fucking reading that one fucking Harry Potter fanfiction.
Oh, this one is just called The AI, which is like, I was walking down my road heading towards the shop. I was more sad than usual. I don't know why, though. My crush got a boyfriend. He was so cute. I really liked him. I guess dreams really don't come true. Oh, there's a Markiplier one.
No.
What the fuck?
Yeah, somebody did an AI of Markiplier.
My boyfriend would kill me.
Oh, there's an Invader Zim one.
I don't know. Can I say the Doom 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 thing from the robot?
Okay, let's see. More Naruto, more anime, creepypasta. Okay, so it looks like I think the consensus is going to be the Danganronpa one.
God damn it!
Sylph, you may say, do it.
Don't! It's funny because I'm the one that's going to be dying from cringe.
It's not like you're going to have the fucking robot out over there trying to kill him.
Ah!
What are you gonna do when we start back fucking voicing fucking Danganronpa again?
I'll be okay.
Oh, Sylph's in the chat. I didn't see it. I didn't see the meme.
Uh-oh.
I just got here.
Uh-oh. It's getting good now.
You're on Wattpad.
I just realized this whole story is 34 chapters long. It's like 71 pages. Unless this turns into a two-parter. I know we got to take a vote.
I don't want to make Mooney uncomfy.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Link it so I can have an idea of what we're looking at here. Please.
So Sylva's gonna do a what's the word? Sylva's gonna do a is gonna be the lawyer in this particular situation. There you go.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna turn my fucking.
Oh, it's on Quotev. Okay.
That's what I said.
Hold on, guys. I gotta fucking turn my air conditioner on. It is hot as hell in here, and I'm suffering.
Well, hopefully, thank God Nellie's not there. I literally have a friend that picked me up in a truck one day and was like just playing that song, and I said, "Are you sure that this is not like a road trip so that we can go to like a seedy hotel?"
Down, Chess. Calm down. Anybody who wants to bring their cat to work day, and let my cat play with them, they're more welcome.
I don't think my old man would be comfortable with that because he's already on my lap.
Well, get your butt over here. Come on. You're not in trouble.
How's the scanning going?
I'm looking at this right now. Just
Right, let me see if there are actual any other ones, because I only saw 3 pages worth of stuff. I'm like, how can there be only 3 pages?
Jester, come on.
Oh, there's only 3 pages. How's that possible? Is there not enough people doing fan fiction?
I guess not.
Oh, dude.
Okay, let's see fiction. Okay.
Oh. Anybody want to say hi to the brat for a bit?
yeah, well, Chester.
Here, I'll get on camera a little bit. Say hi. He's like, what the fuck?
They're not even AI stuff. This is just fiction. Yep, I don't really see much in there.
Soph, are you sure you're going to be okay?
I'm sure. Just
We need to get Soph a fan ASAP.
Oh, I have a fan. Hold on a sec. I gotta mute though.
Just with a very powerful air conditioner.
Chester.
Okay, Cash, you're killing my legs, sir.
Come here, I'll hug you. There, boy. You should be napping while mommy's working.
Okay. All right, buddy.
Just my luck, like that wants my attention while I'm trying to work. Sit down in my lap. Come on. Sit down. So what are we going to decide on here, boys and gals?
Well, I said we're putting it to a vote.
No idea.
Oh, come on, out.
Yes, I don't want to see your butt. It's the mighty cat butt. It has powers to drag your mind into places you don't want to know about.
Look, it's either going to be this or the Markiplier one.
I'd rather go for the Doggerama.
God damn it.
Yeah, but it only has 1 vote. You got 2 other people here besides you to vote.
I know. I guess I have no choice but to go with it.
Oh, I didn't realize Slender Man one in here. I missed the Slender Man one.
Oh, I can do Slender Man.
Oof. I think we'll go with the Slender Man one.
Can't imagine what a kinky horror this is going to be.
Oh, check, please.
It says creepy fan fiction, dark story, boy and boy. Blade is your regular punk that just wants a free meal and a girlfriend. However, after getting mixed up with strange powers, he gets himself captured by a mansion of killers. Will his badass ways help him through this horror, or will his bad pickup lines? I can't read the rest of the description.
I can't move. My cat is on me.
My cat's on me as well, Circus.
Yeah, but literally, he's sitting on me like I'm a pear.
All right, what's it going to be?
Slenderman.
Slenderman.
All right. Then that's settled. Let's see what Slenderman gay porn looks like. What it sounds like? God, that's like cheesy.
Circus has been on the kick lately, Joe.
Wait a minute. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I see what they did. Okay, author's note. This story contains violence, profanity, and sexual themes. If you're offended easily, this ain't the story for you. But if you like gay romance and crappy jokes, it is. Do enjoy. All right. Wow, this is like one long. Okay. So here we go. Blade sat in the corner of the class contemplating what he was going to have for dinner. Usually, he would go to the nearby market in his small town to get groceries. However, a few days ago, he got banned from the store because he supposedly, quote unquote, severely beat up the owner's son.
What the fuck?
Bruh.
Instead of writing down the notes that an angry Mrs. Keene was for some reason was yelling at the class, Blade just simply blankly stared out the window overlooking the large school campus that appeared to be in the middle of nowhere. He thought, not only do I have to walk through a large forest that surrounds the school and beyond to even get to that small fucking town, I have to walk to the next town over to get groceries so I can eat. I'm definitely not rich enough to go to that fish and chip shop down the street from my apartment. I really need cash. No, I really need a job. He slumped at the idea of walking that far. Plus, he would probably end up in a huge fight for no particular reason as soon as he walked out, if the class doors. My stupid red hair, it's like a sign that says fight me, and the fact that I look like a punk with black piercings and longish hair doesn't do me any favors. A sudden, unholy noise broke his thought process. Blade, what is the answer to question number 3? Mrs. Keene's loud voice made Blade want to smack his head on the desk in front of him in an attempt to knock himself out. As much as Blade wanted not to, however, he stood up, put his hand to his chest, and lifted his head up high, trying to appear smart. Well, you see, miss, I would tell you that answer to the question, no, is 3. However, certain circumstances has prevented me from coming to a conclusion that would allow me to fully process the ideal answer you seek. Mrs. Keene was very unamused, yet didn't expect anything better of the red-headed troublemaker.
Bring on the fucking Slender Man. I want danger. I want suspense. I want to not be bored.
Listen, Circus, this is the foreplay.
I want to get into
bored off her ass, Joe.
Listen, you can't have gay sex, good gay sex, without foreplay.
Fuck foreplay. Foreplay's for pussies.
Well, excuse you, because we both have one.
Hey, not my choice.
Whoa. Who's we?
As in me and Mooney are both chicks, therefore we both have pussies. You know, like you have a cock, aka a urinary rod or whatever the fuck you call it.
Chemical waste rod. Like you call it.
And you have people making holes. Okay, I get it.
And not my choice.
All right, so a girl with brown curly locks that sat across from Blade let out a small giggle at his act and watched him intently with a look that read, "Damn, you fine." This made the huge hunky male known as David behind her snarl. Blade, of course, paid no attention to this due to the fact that he still had no idea what he was going to eat for dinner. Mrs. Keene then gestured for Blade to sit down, to which he did, and Mrs. Keene continued her lesson. After Mrs. Keene grumblingly finished her lesson and reluctantly said, yes, that's it, it's end of school. A ruckus that can only be described as the reaction one would experience when 2,000 people hear that there is free food in an expensive restaurant occurred, causing Blade to have less respect for humanity than he already had. Once the class piled out and Blade completely collected himself, skimming through the desks close to him, casually knocking over a few desks, even though he was pretty skinny. Once he reached the classroom, a sudden thought came to his mind.
Uh-oh.
wouldn't it be funny if a girl confessed her love for me and I got to eat at her place and I wouldn't have to pay for food or go to the town over? And what if they like me for me? Does that mean my bad streak with women will finally end?
No.
That very thought.
And it just shows that you're a dusty son of a bitch.
Are you saying that my dick is a broom closet now? That's one way to describe it. It's been sitting there gathering dust for the past how long?
Don't mind me. I've been checking out those weird ass podcasts.
Yes, so if this mofo is named Blade.
I thought you said Blaine.
It's Blade.
Like a vampire. Like a fucking vampire.
Like Sling Blade.
Oh my god.
The very thought made him laugh at the unrealistic scenario. As soon as he opened the sliding door, the girl with the brown curly locks from earlier greeted him. This not only confused Blade, but made him want to believe in a god.
Yep.
Wait, oh, God. Oh, sorry. Where was I? Will my prayers finally be answered? At that, the girl spoke up, a grin on her face. You're Blade, right? You're taller than I thought, she whispers. I like that, boys like you. Why don't you come with me somewhere more private? Of course, it'll cost you $20.
Oh, he found a hooker. Oh my goodness. It's time to get your dog wet.
A slight giggle escapes her lips. Blade stood towering over her, thinking of the possibilities. Wait, what was her name? Jen? Jean? Or was it Jess? Yes, Jess. Wait a second. Isn't this girl notorious for hooking up with guys and stealing their money? Well, fuck me. She probably doesn't even look at me.
Yes, she wants to fuck you. And my phone's being a dick right now.
Sylph is like, isn't this in high school? It doesn't specify.
I assumed it was in high school.
Or
for all we know, this could be college.
Yes, I was going to say it would probably be college, though.
The very thought made him want to crawl into a ball and roll away into a corner. Oh, he got blue-balled. Trust me, if you ever been blue-balled before, it hurts like a motherfucker.
Well, I don't have that problem. Thank God.
There's an easy way to get around it, but a lot of guys are just like,
Sure, Jan.
Let's see. A tempting offer, but I don't have time for you if you're not serious. He lifted his hand to his head and pulled back his hair looking at Jess. You know, you have really pretty eyes, babe. Jess stated. Oh, that was Jess. Sorry. I thought that was him. Sorry.
Ow.
You know, you have really pretty eyes, babe. Jess stated seductively, admiring Blade's strange red eye color, placing a pale hand onto his chest.
Oh, God. Run!
Blade blushed, but quickly turned his head and tried to change his expression to a serious one. I have no interest in people like you. Jess scowled and stomped her foot on the ground. Fine then, you're not my type anyway.
Excuse me, bitch.
Screaming, she stormed off. Blade watched her dart down the hall, thinking if he should have asked her to go away in a nicer way.
Yeah, like that would happen.
Shaking his head, he made his way across the hall and out the main door of the seemingly large old school. Pushing the doors open, he was confronted with the very hunky David, his facial expression pissed. Oi, Blade! He yelled at Blade, his arm
What you doing, mate?
Blade just stared at him, will an annoyed expression on his face. Wow. I mean, wow. You know what? I totally called it 10 points to me. Another random fight. Oh, well.
Jerry.
He thought as David took a step closer. What makes you think that a no good shit like yourself can hit on a gem like Jess?
No,
You're a disgusting pervert, you know that?
it's shocked.
At this point, Blade was just done. He stared at David with squinted eyes and just nonchalantly walked past him while he was still talking. Oh no!
Side-eyeing him.
I'd rather have a big kahuna right now, Joey.
I'm hungry and ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody has time for that sheet.
Maybe I should go hunt in the woods or something for food. David grabbed Blade's shoulder with a pure anger on his face. Are you listening, fuckface? Before David could take a swing at Blade's face, Blade sucker punched him right in the jaw.
Dude.
Predictable, Blade muttered as he swaggered through the courtyard of the school and up to the front gate, leaving David knocked out laying on the floor. Blade slowly walked down the deep hill that led from the top of the school all the way to the very, very far away bottom. Surrounding the path was countless rows of trees and bushes that appeared to Blade as giant walls that locked him into his fated path. Blade didn't have any idea what he was going to do from this point on, and it bothered him greatly. As he walked down the long, winding hill that connected his school to the edge of the forest, he thought about how he was going to explain the situation to his father, who just happened to share a house with him. He's always drunk anyways. He's got enough booze to last the apocalypse.
Just bring him a bottle of wild turkey home. He'll be happy with you, Blade.
This made Blade laugh to himself, as the image of a drunk old man fighting mutants, aliens, and zombies filled his mind and got his mind off of food. Once Blade reached the bottom of the hill, he looked up at the sky, admiring a beautiful sunset that seemed to devour the school. What a beautiful sight. Wait, what? Suddenly, he realized that it was going to be nightfall soon, and no matter how hard he tried, he wouldn't be able to suddenly become a superhero and get night vision. At the tip of the forest, he felt a cold breeze that made dust fly all over the place. This was where he could take either path. Okay, so I can run through the forest all the way home and just make it, or I can run back up the hill to the school where it's kind of safe. And why is the sun setting already?
Because it's anime, and in a fucking manga, the fucking sun sets at random, because we have no logic of fucking time.
A sudden flashback filled his mind. You can either take the blue pill or the red pill. Damn it, I need to go home. What could possibly go wrong? Jerking back, Blade gathered up his strength and sprinted forward through the forest, parkouring over all the stray logs and tree branches. Even though in the eyes of Blade he looked like a black-belted ninja, in reality he was actually hitting almost every branch in sight, and because of his height he even hit some of the higher tree branches. Due to the fact that he indeed was not a ninja, and that every branch he hit made his stamina go down by 5 points, and his health bar go down by 7 points, he eventually came to a halt and fell to his knees covered in cuts and bruises. Well, that didn't go as expected. As the once radiant sunset disappeared from sight, a large dim moon taking its place. The moon hardly lit up anything, and the very thought of a large unknown wolf or bear attacking Blade when he least expected it in the middle of the night gave him chills. Nevertheless, Blade slowly got to his feet and looked forwards, ignoring the stabbing sensation of hunger and the feeling of being watched. Blood trickled down his arm.
No?
Blood. I don't know that song.
It's from Duran Duran.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking Hungry Like the Wolf?
Yes.
Oh, the only part of song I know is the do 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 do. That's the only part of the song that my friends and I would imitate because my friend would sing it all the time.
Yeah, I was mentioning Duran Duran, dude.
All right. Anyway, blood trickled down his arm as he continued sprinting through the now pitch black forest. Just beware of the temple guards that may inhabit the trees. The further into the forest he went, the taller the trees got and the more open the space became. After a while of running, Blade started noticing dark shadows move all around him. He couldn't make quite out what the shadows originated from, but it didn't bother him. He was more worried about how he was going to break the news of no food to his father. Damn, I feel like I'm being followed. But I need to get home! This place is freaking me out. Wait, since when was I scared of the forest? Jumping over a final stray root, Blade leaped through an opening through the trees and landed square on a small rubble path, facing the small town that Blade's half-assed excuse for a father resided in. After a long walk through the town and a few off looks by random bystanders, Blade's shitty apartment came into view. A loud ruckus filled Blade's ears as he walked up to the front door. With a loud creak, Blade forced his old rusted metal door open, as the sound of his most definitely drunk father muttering and rolling all over the floor made Blade facepalm. Dad, I'm home. As he closed the door behind him, his dad just rolled over in bile in his mouth.
Wait. Can we make the father sound like Mr. Krabs? I think that'd be funny.
Well, he's got lines. Doesn't look like it. His dad had just rolled over in bile in his mouth and a stupid look on his face. Go home, Dad. You're drunk. And he walked over to his now struggling to breathe father. Chucking his father over his shoulder, Blade walked around, spilled bottles of beer, empty cans, and vomit or piss. Either way, either way, Blade did not want to know. Instead of simply throwing his father out the nearby window into the nearest dump pile like he usually did, he decided to simply throw him onto his manky, unmade bed and slam the door behind him to ensure that no unwanted smell escaped his dad's room.
I have a lot of questions why the hell we would do that, but okay.
Well, I mean, when you throw him out so many times and he just comes right back. It's like, I can't get rid of this motherfucker.
Who the heck is the dad? Barney Rubble?
Yeah, I think so.
Where have you been all my life? Just take it to my veins.
Ever since Betty left me for the Triceratops, my life has been in ruin.
Oh no, not that Barney.
Barney Gumball from The Simpsons.
Oh, okay, Gumball. Okay, got the last name wrong.
My name is Barney, and I'm an alcoholic. Mr. Gumball, this is a Girl Scout meeting. Is it? Or is it girls can't admit you have a problem?
Imagine Barney the dinosaur going to an AA meeting.
Blade's stomach started making the rumblies, and he knew only cheap food would satisfy it. So he just stared down at his dirty black t-shirt.
Are you sure it's not hands?
Somebody's making the rumblies from.
That only hands would satisfy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the fucking llamas with hats.
Yes.
And he only knew cheap food would satisfy, so he just stared down at his dirty black t-shirt, thinking if he should steal a bike or a car so he can go to the town over. After a while of staring at his shirt blankly, Blade suddenly realized that he was covered in cuts, some that were extremely deep and others that just scratched the surface of his skin.
I thought you said he was covered in cum for a minute. I'm like, wait, what?
See, this is what happens, Circus, when you're thinking not the foreplay, you're thinking already of going into the action, the main event.
I wasn't. That's the problem.
He was used to his current feeling of pain. However, due to the fact that when he often got in this fight, his enemy would use blades. He blades on Blade, he thought as he bandaged himself up and walked into his very punk rock looking room. Slumping on his bed that was composed of various shades of gray and red, Blade thought over what happened. Rolling flat on his stomach, nearly falling off the bed, curling into a ball. Why aren't I able to get with anyone? I have terrible luck, and when a chick finally asked to do it with me, it was only because she wanted cash like a frickin' prostitute. Every time.
This is what high school's like when you're in Mad Max.
I thought we said this was college.
Okay, this is what college looks like in Mad Max.
Every time I confess to a girl, she just runs away because she's scared of me, or she thinks I'm the leader of some sort of mafia or gang. Oh well. Eventually someone will like me for me, right? Maybe I should go yandere on somebody's ass.
That might not be the best option here, big guy.
I mean, when you're that desperate, I don't know what yandere means, but I mean, when
hey, so for somebody that knows this type of shit, yanderes are usually someone that so enamored with someone that they would actually literally kill their opponent.
Wait, so he's willing to fuck somebody he's gonna kill?
No, means kill the murder a potential rival.
So he's thinking of fucking one of his enemies.
No, murder. It means
hold on. I'm gonna.
For someone,
so a yandere is a term for a character who at first is very sweet, loving, and innocent, and overly affectionate, like a normal dere character, but over time begins exhibiting signs of being. Probably not the best phrasing of being mentally sick as a result of having a too strong love.
Yep.
Yandere is a sickness born from too much love. They are the kind of character who will act all dere and lovey-dovey when their relationship with their romantic partner is going well, but when something triggers jealousy or possessiveness, they act impulsively in a way that makes them seem like something's wrong with them. Their love is expressed as a pathological obsession towards their love interest, and their infatuation and devotion to their love interest is so strong that it causes them to gradually develop an unstable mental state and become quote-unquote sick. Who the fuck wrote this? They become so attached to their love interest that it's impossible to let go, and they may begin doing immoral things to improve their relationships, such as stalking their love interest or even using violence as a last resort towards anyone who quote-unquote threatens their relationship. And they entrust themselves to their love interest, trusting in their love interest kindness. They probe the deepest recesses of their love interest heart to more perfectly form their greatest self within their love interest.
Okay, I get the picture.
Yeah, so that's basically what that is.
Examples are Kotonoha Katsura from School Days.
Yeah. Oh, Soph, why are you sounding like a robot?
Sorry, I coughed.
Yep, I remember because I have actually seen that.
Yuna Kasai is one of the biggest examples.
Yep, from Mirai Nikki or Future Diary.
I guess maybe Belarus from Italia.
Yes. Someone actually included Shion Sonozaki from Higurashi.
You two are sounding like robots right now.
Oh,
okay. In 2010, yandere was redefined.
Yeah.
Where it was, they love a specific person and don't care about others, sometimes even themselves. They will do anything for the specific person they love based on the act of protecting and devoting themselves. They fear more than anything that the person they love will turn their back on them, but don't care what other people think of them. In a word, if you don't love me, I'll kill that person who gets in the way.
So this is what the world of Gundam would look like.
Everybody's sounding like a robot right now.
I don't know why.
Hey, what the hell is going on?
Everybody sounds fine to me.
Same.
I think it's Joey.
Probably.
I take out my laptop charger, and then all of a sudden you sound like robots.
I sound perfectly fine. I can hear Sophie and Moon clearly, even you.
Hold on, this story has made everybody turn into robots.
I am a robot.
Oh, Bob, you actually did it. You did it. You fucking did it.
Come here, you mom.
Ow! My ears!
Yaoi.
Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can choose something.
Oh. Okay, I can kind of hear something. It sounds like static.
I hear static too. I think it's coming from Joey. Ain't it just another lovely Friday night where technical difficulties always fuck up the show some way or somehow?
Friday, where me not feeling well isn't the worst thing that happened. Oh no! Oh no! 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 I don't want to fight you. I just want that rock.
The thing is, I can't leave.
I know. Can you just mute yourself and then listening to the show on the other end?
Well, no, I can't mute.
I don't know.
Try. Oh, wait, hold on. Well, there's Mooney.
Okay, we got Mooney back.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
It's a robot, apparently.
Every time Joey talks, I hear a little echo too. It kind of sounds like the Mars Attack guys. See? It just happened.
Got an echo cancellation turned off. Yeah, there's I'm hearing static.
That is so weird. Usually it's usually me or me having trouble. Oh, our leader is gone! Our leader is gone!
Oh no.
Well, if we know it's not us, right?
He's back.
That didn't do it.
Wait, was that while I was gone that did it everything turn out okay?
The thing is, it's all coming on Joey's side. Like every time he talks certain, and then like it'll lag a little bit, and then it starts sounding like the Mars Attack to me.
Trying to figure it out. I don't know what's going on.
Wow, what a way to we're almost at an hour in and we're already getting all glitchy.
That's weird. Like I said, it's usually you or me glitching out.
Yeah.
Oi! I'll be glad when you get your freaking new computer fixed.
God damn.
Okay, so it's not volume. It's not any of that.
You said that it started after you unplugged the headphones?
No,
Not the headphones.
I thought the charger.
The laptop
charger. Laptop charger.
Oh.
That is so weird. I don't know. Did you set it to Wombo?
You're making it sound like that he made an offering to Wumbo.
At this point, I think we need to make a fucking offering to the Wumbo. The way we keep failing.
Maybe this is not a good time to stream.
Hold on. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to insert headphones. Maybe that will do it.
Oh, I thought this bastard was dead.
What?
Saying that in the robot voice doesn't help.
I'm trying to get some stuff done so I can get like to sleep early. And oh, that's where they went.
Exterminate you. Exterminate.
Oh, hey, you're all fine now.
Okay, what the hell happened?
It was the I guess it was the speakers on my laptop.
Oh.
To surprise if I say who exactly?
All right, hold on. I'm going to test something. I'm going to move off of my.
Hola. I'll do that.
Now I'm going to take my turn my headphones off.
Oh God.
Hi, human.
That fixed it. I turned the headphones off, and now it's you're all normal.
Hi, Elliot.
I blame Elliot. His evil powers did it to you, Jeff.
Oh, he's just existing right now.
Cass is just existing too. He's a grumpy, sleepy old man on my lap.
Story. So we left off in the story where somebody wanted to murder somebody's ass. All right. So
dude,
for the
I
rest
don't want to see anybody stab somebody in the ass.
Oh crap!
So Trelong didn't read somebody killed somebody, blah, blah, blah.
Somebody got somebody and somebody got that person.
All right, so for the rest of the night, Blade tried to sleep, of course, with the accompaniment of his stomach growling at the speed of sound.
Wow.
During the duration of the entire next days, it was raining, but it could be better described as liquefied stones.
What?
What?
You know, like the raindrops, the stones.
Hail.
Well, no, those are ice. It was so heavy, in fact, that Blade looked like he had just jumped into a pool where he walked through the doors of his classroom with a serious look on his face. Most students were smart enough to bring a protection device of some sort against the rain, but not Blade. He was a dumbass.
Or at least the story admits it.
The fact that he was soaking wet in more ways than one didn't bother him whatsoever. For today was the day he was going to confess his love to a short girl with long blonde hair and blue eyes called Rebecca.
AKA the prostitute.
No, that was Jess.
Oh, this is the other prostitute.
No, this is a brand new character.
But I want a prostitute.
I know you do. But
only Circus wants a sex worker.
Listen. If we can get you out to Vegas, they're on every street corner.
I have a boyfriend.
I'm saying the both of you can go.
Leave me out of this.
He's the jealous type.
Wait. I didn't say Mooney. I didn't say Circus was dating you.
He was talking about me and my beau.
All right. Anyway, hopefully today he will score a girlfriend and get a relationship that will last more than 5 days. Hopefully. Awkwardly shuffling towards Rebecca, Blade gathered all of his strength and touched her shoulder. Hey, Rebecca, I've been wanting to talk to you. Blade spoke, his eyes shifting all over the place. Rebecca turned around quickly with discomfort plastered all over her face. Yes? She asked Blade in a shaky, almost terrified voice. You see, Blade thought he was pulling a cute, small smile, but in actual reality, he had a smirk you would imagine a gangster would pull after murdering one of his enemies.
Oh, Lord.
Want to go out? Blade said in a trying to sound confident, but actually sound scary way. Rebecca feared for her life at this point, but was more afraid of what Blade would do to her if she actually agreed. So she said in a very shaky voice, I'm sorry, but I can't. At that, she ran off, leaving a very confused and heartbroken Blade staring at the floor. Well, what did I expect? Blade thought to himself as a goth-looking girl that just happened to notice the whole event chuckled to herself. Blade twisted his head around to face the girl, and in the most delinquent tone ever, Blade spat, "Huh? What's so funny?" The goth girl slowly walked up to him, surprised. "Tell me," she asks, "do you find me attractive?" Blade's eyes squinted as he assessed the goth girl. What drug are you on to think that I find you attractive?"
Damn.
This made the girl smile as Blade contemplated hitting his head against the wall or jumping out of the window to escape the fact that he sounded like an ass. That was a bit random, but I could have told it to her in a nicer way. Then again, who the fuck is this chick? Maybe I should try to be nicer. Like, ask what she thinks about the weather. Yeah, that'll turn this conversation around. Hey, goth girl, are you enjoying the rain? Blade said in a very sarcastic tone for some reason. Damn it. After a short, awkward silence, the goth girl spoke up again. You really don't find me attractive? In any way? Interesting. In that case, you must be very strong-willed. Blade wasn't sure to take that as a compliment, but he was more confused at what the heck she was talking about. I saw that episode with that blonde girl that ran off. You're one scary man. Though I did see what you did, well, tried to do there. You must have terrible luck. Hee. That's none of your business. But why does this matter to you, huh? Why the fuck are you asking me all these questions? The girl then thought to herself and lifted up her finger in an "oh, I know" kind of way. Why don't I help you out? Help me out?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I don't like where this is going.
You see, I was given a sort of power that can be passed around. This power gives you the ability to make anyone you want fall in love with you. Of course, you can only get your desired gender to fall in love with you. Blade thought over what the goth girl said. Bullshit. There is no way that's real. And if it is, why is she even telling me? Even if you're not lying, why would you give the power to a person like me? And how do you know it even works? Or if you can give it to me?
You remind me, boy.
You remind me of myself, and I want to offer the same kindness that the lady with the power before me had. I'm also finding the power really boring now anyway, so just accept it. Blade stared at the goth girl for some time and shook his head, preparing himself for the stupidity that was about to consume him. All right, then, give me this power. The girl smiled with amusement and kissed Blade's chest, the small glow radiating from her lips.
What? Oh, no. What the hell is happening?
What does this have to do with Slender Man?
Blade recoiled back with a huge expression on his face. Oh, what? What did you? What now? The girl laughed as his reaction, as he stood confused and blushing. Oh, you're so cute. Now you have my power. Feel free to use it in any which way you want, if you know what I mean. The girl winked. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. She passed Blade a small slip of paper, turned around, and ran off. Blade stood in his place for some time. After a while of silence, some girls entered the classroom. If this supposed power is real, then why don't I try it out? What could possibly go wrong? Blade slowly walked up to the girls, flipped his red hair back, and said, Hey, ladies, are you a book? Because I'm totally checking you out.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
The girls looked at him with a disgusted look on their faces. Ew, what a creep. One of them spat as they took their friend's hand and left the class.
That was a little bit of an overreaction there.
Maybe I should have used a different pickup line. Blade thought as the strong urge to piss filled his bladder.
Oh, what? God. What the fuck?
On impulse, he ran to the nearby male bathroom and ripped open his pants, letting it all out.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude.
After sweet relief, a boy with black hair that was a bit shorter than Blade walked in. He took one look at Blade and a large blush spread across his face.
Uh-oh.
He then shuffled about awkwardly and proceeded to pee next to Blade. Blade, being the naive person he was, just thought that the black-haired kid was too lazy to walk to the end of the stalls and pee over there.
He's never like that.
Yeah, I can relate, he thought as the boy took chances at Blade's junk, a blush continuing to grow.
Hey.
Excuse me.
Once Blade... Hey, you seem like a regular guy. Once Blade zipped up his pants and walked over to the sink to wash his hands and pick a fight with his reflection. The black-haired boy also stopped and went to wash his hands. Blade went to lean in to push the button to get some soap, but was met by a warm hand instead.
Get away, get away. Run, run.
The boy nervously said as he quickly removed his hand from Blade's. Sure, whatever, Blade said as
bitch, run.
The boy stared at the ground and looked all around, thinking of the most hentai scene you can imagine.
No.
Of course, this meant that he gained the boner achievement, which allowed him to poke the shit out of Blade's leg. Hey, stop poking me. It's really annoying. Blade's facial expression dropped, allowing as good 15 seconds of silence and dry humping.
What? The fuck?
Blade flipped out and shrieked, "What the fuck are you doing? Fuck off!" From his vast experience,
that's all of us right now.
From his vast experience of fighting on impulse, Blade grabbed the closest appendage of his enemy and used that to throw him against the wall. The appendage, however, that was closest to him happened to be a 10-centimeter dick that stiffened much with a ripe banana in the North
10 centimeter? That must be super tiny.
Even though to the naked eye it would appear that the black-headed boy was in excruciating pain, in reality, he was enjoying the whole experience a little too much. Whilst the blushing red-on-red Blade stormed down the halls, the black-haired boy lay face halfway into the wall. The goth girl simply rested up against the graffitied wall behind the school. Blade stormed around the entire school for so long that he eventually was met with the goth girl from earlier. So Mr. Punk, how did it go? She asked joyfully with a little too much enthusiasm. Blade rammed her and lifted her up by her collar. How did it go? I got fucking rejected by 2 girls, and when I went to piss, a guy tried to fucking dry hump me. So, watch, how do you think it went? At this point, Blade was fuming. The girl's eyes opened wide as she reached into her pocket. Once Blade realized he was holding up a lady in the air, he gently let her drop to her feet. I'm sorry, but it was your stupid power that caused this, Blade said, turning his head sideways, still blushing. The goth girl pulled out an item from her pocket and passed it to Blade. The uprising in my pants. What the fuck is this? Blade said as he pointed to an anime drawing of 2 guys fucking.
What?
That's one way to describe it.
Yes.
The uprising in my pants.
Well, hey, that's one way of trying to describe it.
I Yaoi, of course, the girl said cheerfully. She pointed at Blade with a painted nail. She said, "You are fucking gay, my friend." Blade squinted his eyes at her to make sure that she wasn't on any drugs at all, or at least didn't show any signs of being on drugs. "You're shitting me," Blade said, looking at the piss-stained pavement below him. "No, shit is on you. Better start researching, because at first controlling this power is a shit show," the girl stated. "Plus, you are gay, and you can't deny it. Think about it. The power that I have given you is designed to fit with your true preference. It's never wrong." Blade dropped his head in disbelief as a flow of quote-unquote creative scenes filled his mind. Is there any way I could change my preference, or will I get fucked in the ass sideways before dawn?
My friend, I think it's...
The girl winked and poked his nose, shaking her head. It's your power. You control it any which way you want. It just happens that right now you like men more than women. The girl then spun around and pulled a Sailor Moon pose.
What?
Oh, by the way, I never told you my name. I'm Rosary Wolf, but you could just call me Rose. Honestly, Blade wasn't really paying attention. He was more focused on the fact that he was going to lose his virginity to a dude. After shaking his head in disbelief and tapping his foot impatiently, Blade spoke up. Fine then, Rose. Thanks for your info. Would have been fucking helpful to tell me earlier, but you know. Blade, blushing, clenching his fists, stormed off angry at the idea of the power going out of control. Rose just watched him storm off with a huge smile on her face as he fast walked out of the main school gate. After Blade entered the forest and wandered around for what felt to him like forever, a sudden thought crossed his mind. Wait, where the fuck am I? He decided to just give up. He fell flat onto his face on the dirty leaf-covered ground, the sound of the soft breeze through the trees calming him. After all that happened that day, Blade was all out of fucks to give. He was practically the Batman of non-existent fucks.
No.
After a large gray cloud covered the trees and shaded Blade, the sudden urge to sleep filled him. He was too tired. He fell into a trance, much like when you see a bake sale and can't help but buy everything. A sudden loud noise forced his eyes open as Blade realized that a thick black color now coated the once bright forest. It was night. What time is it? Blade mumbled tiredly. He slowly got to his feet and brushed the dirt off his jeans, his red hair falling over his face. The dark seemed to literally swallow up the forest because Blade couldn't see 5 meters in front of him. I assume that I'm in the forest between the school and my town, so if I just move forwards, I should eventually reach the town, right? He thought, as he casually started to move forwards. Strolling through the woods in a somewhat happy mood for some reason, Blade kept tripping over random roots or plants in the ground. After tripping over random things around 69 times, Blade eventually made it to a clearing and let out a huge sigh. Blade thought as he lazily sat on the ground, thinking that he might just sit there until sunrise. The sudden sound of static filled his ears, causing Blade to cover them. What is this? Blade asked no one in particular.
Is Slenderman finally showing up now?
No.
I'm going to be mad if they let him talk, because he's not supposed to talk.
Suddenly, a figure emerged from a row of trees in front of him that he could barely see. Wait, is that a pale guy in a tux? Blade asked himself as the figure moved closer. What the fuck is this? He said as a large black tentacle darted at ridiculous speeds towards Blade's shocked face.
Oh, fuck.
Chapter 2. The black tentacles grabbed across Blade's left cheek, though for some reason the creature missed. What matter of creature are you? The creature somehow asked, regardless of the fact that he didn't have a face, let alone a mouth, as it moved closer, its tentacles moving slowly behind its back.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
Normal people in this situation would scream or cry out, but not Blade. Blade had no fucks to give. I'm a human, dumbass. Then again, I don't see any eyes on you. Blade said, preparing himself for even more weirdness. The creature was now not only confused, but intrigued at the red-headed man. But how rude of me. I am Slender Man. I reside in
you, man. Fuck you. He's not supposed to fucking talk, you piece of shit. Go step on a Lego, you dick.
Let's get the Legos.
Fuck.
Oh, Self is now the one that's pure rage.
Congratulations, Yaoi. You pissed off Self.
No, the being off.
Author pissed Self off.
Let's see, where did I leave off? The creature said as Blade face palmed. Slender Man? As in a man that is slender? Your name is so fucking uncreative. That's like my name being Red Eye and Hair Man, Blade said in a heap of sarcastic tone. You are not fearful of me? The slender man asked, moving closer to Blade. Well, Mr. Tall Faceless Dude, today I was rejected by my crush, got a power from a goth chick, got dry humped by a dude, and got lost in the forest at night. Not anything that can happen to me after today could be any weirder. Even if a random faceless guy, namely you, where did I? Oh shit. Get weirder. Even if a random faceless guy named you is asking me questions. Slender Man took another step closer. Strange human. Have you heard of creepypasta?
Oh God!
Really?
That very statement.
Hell, really?
That very statement made Blade burst out laughing. Da! Ha, 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 ha. Creepy pasta? As in pasta that is creepy? Da! Ha, ha, ha. He fell flat on his back, struggling to breathe over his laughter. Seeing that Slender Man was growing impatient, Blade flipped himself back up and stared directly at Slender Man's faceless features. Anyway, what do you want? Blade said, pulling back his hair, his red directly staring where Slender Man's eyes should be. I was planning to kill you. However, something compelled me not to. Not with my knowledge of your power. You interest me. I wish for you to join me in my mansion. Blade,
what?
Sure, what could possibly go wrong?
What the fuck is this Twilight Zone bullshit?
Let me guess, Jeff the Killer is gonna show up next, and then Ben Drowned is gonna show up in the rake.
Oh God, God, Sylph, I'm already filled with rage.
Slender Man was surprised. You are willing to come with me? Blade stood up. No, fuckface. Why would I do that? Anyways, I need to go home to tend to my most likely drunk bedroom father before he lights my house on fire, trying to become a Super Saiyan. I would love to hang around, Mr. Slender Man, but I got things I need to do, places to be, people to see. At that point, Blade was just about ready to sprint out of the forest when Slender Man's voice stopped him dead in his tracks. You will no longer be able to leave this forest unless you join me. Do not worry, child, you won't be alone. There are others like you in my mansion, strange creatures. Blade frowned in annoyance and waved his hands all about. But why? Why do you want me to join you in a merry band of misfits? Plus, weren't you going to kill me earlier? He sighed and thought to himself, it's probably because the plot calls for it.
God, I want to fucking hang myself. This is so boring.
Well, you're the one who wanted the check it. Well, no, I've got to shut my mouth.
If you want this device, it's on Archive of Our Own.
At least we get some kids that are dead in that one.
Slender Man thought for a while before lifting a slim finger to his chin. I would like to study you. Usually I have no interest in humans such as yourself. However, you appear to have a unique ability that I have never seen or experienced before. Of course, I have no idea what this power is, but it interests me. No matter what you do, human, I will not let you leave until I understand. I value knowledge more than senseless murder. Blade thought over the possibilities, took one look at Slender Man, and then sprinted away in a random direction. Bye, bitch! Blade mocked as he ran off, relying too much on his non-existent ninja powers. In less than 7 seconds, he landed flat onto his face and fell unconscious. Blade's head throbbed as the feeling of a cold blade was felt on Blade's neck, making Blade question why a blade, a large blade at that, was on him.
Let me guess, Jeff the Killer.
Blade muttered as the blade moved across his neck, nearly cutting him. A rough voice filled his ears, making him attempt to cover them even though his hands were tied behind him. Look, looks like he's awake. The voice may have been rough and raspy, but from it, you could assume that it was a young guy speaking. Why does this keep happening to me? Blade thought as the maybe young guy spoke up again. Don't know why Slender's interested in a fucker like you, but you're lucky. If it were up to me, you would be dead already. Loud, heavy footsteps were suddenly heard as a loud sigh came from the maybe but most likely young guy. It's about time, Slendy. He woke up fucking ages ago. From here, Blade could kind of see where he was. It appeared he was in a modern living room that was huge and had a large 70-inch widescreen plasma TV that was playing Adventure Time.
Eat a fucking dick.
I want to kill this thing.
Blade, of course, took this moment to watch this since this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Blade was too lazy to get a job and buy a TV. He wiggled around on the black couch he was bound on as Jake on the TV said, "That's okay, he's all right now," followed by laughter that made Blade smirk. A little girl with brown hair and a pink dress walked in, holding
you
a
motherfucker.
bear.
That's Sally.
She sat next to Blade's head and smiled at him. Blade, being the kind-hearted person he was, smiled back. However, his smile looked like a huge demonic grin. The girl giggled from this and said, "You look scary." Blade dropped his head and sarcastically said, "Thanks." Meanwhile, behind him, a tall, faceless man and the most likely young guy were arguing about something or other. Blade started to feel uncomfortable in the position he wriggled himself into.
This fucking thing is shit.
Well, revenge,
the material that they're
motherfuckers.
using isn't exactly good to begin with.
Consider this revenge, motherfuckers.
I'll get you back, bitch. Don't you worry.
Like,
I think it's a small price for me to pay, but
yeah.
hey, if it's, I don't mind it. Consider us all even now, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no tiramisu for you.
Hey, I've already got my fill tonight.
Small heads up. Sally is from a creepypasta called Sadly Come Play With Me, where her uncle is a diddler and kills her. So
her spirit comes by and kills her as people as revenge?
I think she kills people as revenge. I can't remember. All I know is that she came back as a ghost.
Ho ho ho.
This made the green-eyed girl in front of him giggle, clutching her teddy bear. Blade groaned as the two creatures behind him stared daggers into him. "See, the fucker's awake!" A young guy with soiled black hair that Blade assumed to be the guy from earlier spat. "I noticed," Slender Man said as a long arm reached out to Blade, lifting him up in his black t-shirt. "Morning," Blade said as his hair stuck to his forehead. "You are oddly calm," Slender Man stated as he shooed away the creepy-looking boy. "Yeah, whatever," he spat as he walked away. "I apologize on his behalf. He's a bit confused. That man is known as Jeff the Killer. However..."
Can I please go?
Nope.
We only got like a half hour left.
20 minutes.
Please, I'm being tortured.
Yep.
Joey wants us to endure the karma.
He shouldn't mind if you call him Jeff. The girl before him smiled at the tall man and continued watching the TV. That girl before you is Sally, and if you have forgotten, I am Slender Man. Welcome to the mansion. There are others here, but you will meet them soon enough.
I love you. You love me. We're a happy family with a great big.
I don't.
PTSD, and I swear.
I don't mind this actually. Sure, I get a little frustrated, but I'm completely fine with the situation. I'm in for the ride. I don't care.
So, well, there are others here, but you will meet them later. Slenderman took Blade by his bonds and severed them. You are free to roam, but you must.
What's up, pretty boy?
Leave. Blade took this as a chance to sprint for the hills, so he got up and ran in a random direction until he eventually reached the front door. "Now who's the smart one?" he yelled as he ran out the door. After only 10 seconds on walking through the woods, he returned right back to the mansion's front door. "There's no fucking way," Blade thought as he ran back in another random direction, only to return to the front door. "You have got to be shitting me," he thought again as he ran back and forth 21 times. At the 21st time, Slenderman was there to greet him. "Are you enjoying yourself?" he asked as Blade clutched his knees tired. "What trickery is this?" Blade asked as Slenderman moved closer, lifting his hand out. You can't leave unless I say. You can either take my hand and join us so I can study you, or you can be in a continuous loop for all eternity." Blade felt cheated. "Eternity?" he asked in a depressing tone. Eternity, Slender Man replied, slightly chuckling. Blade let his hand fall into his hands as the idea of living with a tall, faceless man circled around and around his head. Finally, he lifted up his head and glared at Slender Man, making Slender Man feel a little uneasy for some reason. Fine. At that, Blade took the called creature's hand and was led back into the house.
Revenge.
Upon entering the large wooden doors of the mansion, Blade was greeted with a bunch of weird, not really terrifying creatures that all watched him intently. Stop, Blade said as he walked over to the black couch he was bound on earlier. Sitting, well, hovering on the couch, was a guy with blonde hair wearing a green hat. Want to play this game with me? He said, pointing at a pixelated extended game on the screen. Why does this guy look like the sprite on the screen? Blade thought as the boy lifted out his hand. Oh, and I'm Ben, and I have drowned. The boy smirked and eyed Blade, blushing slightly. Blade looked at him, confused, as the chuckling from a black and white clown named Blade turned his head. Hello, he said. I'm Laughing Jack.
Go fuck yourself, author. Go fuck yourself.
The clown's grin grew wide, revealing a row of sharp teeth. The creature winked at Blade, making shivers go down his spine. On the other side of the room, two guys with hoodies looked at Blade. Hi, I'm Masky, one of them said, as the other stood behind him. And I'm Hoodie. Blade,
you motherfuckers. These are not technically creepypastas. They're part of Marble Hornets, which is not a creepypasta. It's inspired by it, but it's not an actual creepypasta. But hey, you'd know that, author, if you did a little fucking thing called research.
Doesn't matter. Up on their end, they just want to tell a gay story.
Yeah, and Sylph started getting super pissed.
Blade awkwardly smiled at them and started feeling more relaxed. Over on the other side of the room was a guy with a blue mask that was eating kidneys.
No.
Oh, I guess it's my turn, he said, swallowing more kidney.
Ew.
You're eating a pea sack, Blade said, looking at the man confused.
Pea sack? Well, that's weird.
Yes, he simply replied, swallowing. Simply replied blankly, and he admits it, Blade mumbled. The blue masked boy spoke up again. I'm Eyeless Jack, but you can call me EJ or Jack or Eyeless or whatever.
Fun fact, the original author of Eyeless Jack actually disowned the story because it was so shit.
Which is good.
Blade frowned as Slender Man grew impatient and interrupted them. Follow me, human, and I will show you to your quarters. Oh, we're on the Enterprise. Okay, I can live with that. Blade sighed. Righty then. He was then led to a room with a red door, similar to the color of Blade's eye and hair. I guess when you had to come up with the color for my door, you read my mind. Haha. Slender Man face palmed as he opened the door to reveal a large black and gray room with slight tints of red everywhere. It resembled his room slightly because of the various My Chemical Romance, Bring Me the Horizon, and Skull Art posters that hung above his.
Fuck me, man. That's
Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Ravenway.
This stuff looks so expensive, Blade trailed off. Slender Man moved over to Blade and placed a large hand on his head. This will be where you sleep. If you need me, my room is at the very end of the hall, my door colored white. If you try to escape, you will be caught in the loop outside until you enter the mansion again. Blade frowned and put a finger to his lips. What do I do now? He asked, strolling around his room and examining the expensive-looking dark furniture. Slender Man chuckled. This mansion is filled with killers, so it's simple. Survive. All right, last chapter.
What?
Oh, thank God.
All night, Blade lay in his bed feeling pissed off. I'm in a mansion filled with fuck-mothering killers, and I can't leave. Plus, I have to deal with this ridiculous power, and without Rose. Fuck. Blade thought as the sudden realization that he hasn't eaten in 2 days kicked in. The grumbling was almost consuming him to the point that he rolled out of his bed, down the hall, down the stairs, and into the living room, right up to Slender Man's feet. The grumbling filled the room as the sound of food consumption filled Blade's ears. His eyes widened, his head lifting. Blade sprinted at top speeds towards the sound. Leaping, he grabbed a steak from Jeff's mouth and sprinted away, the meat hanging from his mouth. "What the fuck, you shithead!" Jeff screamed, chasing after Blade, his hands flailing all over the place. Blade did not care. His stomach was making the rumblies. The only meat could satisfy, and no one was going to stop him. He realized that he was covered in blood. The blood from the uncooked meat. "Well, isn't this interesting?" Slender Man said, eyeing Blade. "You look like a natural-born killer. Your red eyes even appear to be glowing." Blade stood up and continued chewing on the meat. "I could get some other food, but where the fuck would I even find some?" he thought as he swallowed the last bit of meat. Meanwhile, in the corner of the room, two men sat eating snacks watching Blade. Slender Man spoke up over the silence. "I still am unaware of your power, human, but it could be used for our benefit. You seem to enjoy blood. Why don't you consider becoming one of us?" He said, looking at the red coming from Blade's mouth. He scowled and whipped the blood away. "Because I'm not a psychopathic, inhuman asshole. Killing is wrong. Life is important. You should take it for granted just because you believe yourself to be better than humans. Plus, the only reason I currently look like this is because I'm really fucking hungry." Blade glared at the killers around him and looked down at his shirt that was slightly splattered with the meat's blood. "I will never become like you as long as I live." At that, Blade walked out of the room and towards the bathroom. "He's a strange one," Ben muttered, grinning. "Yeah," EJ stated coldly. Jeff sat on the couch in the room with a huge blush on his face, thinking about how close Blade's face was to his. "Fucking fucker, fuck, oh fucking fuck, you little fuck, I'll fuck you up, fucking fuck," Jeff mumbled, the blush growing at a rapid pace.
Great, Jeff's a fucking tsundere.
Yeah.
Blade strolled down the hall staring at the blood on his hand. "Who eats non-cooked steak, huh?" Blade examined the blood closer. "I'll never be like them. Sure, I've been in fights that nearly killed people. Sure, I look like an anime main character that would easily fit in with these people. But just because you're stronger than someone doesn't mean you can take control over them. It's not my fault that people I fought are now in the hospital. This world is filled with fucking injustices, and someone needs to do something about it. Maybe I should become a killer and kill guys worse than me. Like, fuck, I'm going to do that. I'm not an
Okay,
idiot."
Jason Todd.
Blade smiled and shook his head. "Oh, well, better have a shower. I haven't had one in a few days," he thought as he walked through the doors of the bathroom. He turned to the mirror and took off his black shirt, revealing his athletic body. He had a large tribal tattoo in the shape of a Chinese dragon on the left side of his shoulder that went over one of his abs. I guess all those fights I got into really made me fit. I'm pretty hot. I would totally do me," he sarcastically said
calm
to
down there,
himself.
Buffalo Bill.
Guys, we're having really bad weather here. I'm going to dip out just in case.
Okay.
Circus.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.
He sarcastically said to himself before stepping into a larger gray tilted shower. After the warm water coated Blade's body for around 3 minutes, the sudden feeling of being watched filled his mind. He felt shivers down his spine, even though the warm water. "Oh, who's there?" Blade asked seemingly to no one in a chill tone. Sudden sounds of branch snapping and a blood-curdling scream filled the bathroom and slightly echoed off the walls. Blade waited no time. This reminded him of all those times people broke into his apartment. He jumped out of the shower and ran buck naked to the large window opposite from the shower. He jumped onto the edge of the window and peered down at a man on the ground covered in dirt and leaves from the fall. "You fucking pervert," Blade spat coldly, shaking his head as he glared at the man below him. The unknown keeper lifted up his head and unintentionally stared right at Blade's package.
What?
The guy below mumbled, trying to look away. "Oi, are you all right, you fucking pervert?" The man below came into focus after a while to reveal a man with black hair and bloodshot eyes. I live and breathe. Of all the people I expected, I never thought it would be the most violent killer of the bunch. Jeff the fucking killer, Blade muttered as he frowned and shook his head disappointingly. Jeff quickly got up, his eyes still focused on the shiny book. Fuck off, Jeff yelled, forcing his eyes to look away. Blade paused. Oh shit. It appeared that his power, the amazingly stupid thing that it was, happened to somehow work on Jeff. Well then, Blade mumbled as Jeff ran off at an almost unholy speed. Slowly, Blade walked back over to the shower and turned off the water, drying himself off in the process. In no time, he was dry, and Jeff was long gone. He slumped over to a nearby toilet where he lazily sat himself down.
Oh, God.
Apparently, the fact that he had the ability to make men fall for him was in a mansion filled with a bunch of male killers was just now kicking in. He rested his head in his hands and frowned deeply. This is what I get for wanting to use magic voodoo shit to get laid, he thought, as he realized that the clothes he lazingly threw on the floor from earlier were missing. His face turned to pure fear as he wrapped his towel firmly around his waist. Slowly, he reached for the doorknob and peered outside the bathroom, trying to look for an opening. The hallway seemed clear, or at least barren for the moment. At the speed of sound, he sprinted over to his room and slammed the door behind him. Sight was pretty much tunnel vision at this point. He leaped over to his dresser and threw on a black hoodie and black boxers. Once he thought he was safe, he sighed and rubbed his head. Relaxed. That's when he saw him. Sitting on a computer chair was EJ, who was staring intently at Blade through his mask. Silence filled the room, and the air began to become heavy. Fancy meeting you here, Blade muttered. This is my room, EJ said coldly and simply. Blade looked at him with an I'm so fucked expression. Well, I'll just be going, he said as he started to reach for the doorknob. You're wearing my clothes, EJ said in an even colder tone. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll return them in, EJ cut him off. Never come in here. Never touch me or my belongings. Keep the cloth. It's worthless now that you've touched it. It was quite clear that at this point, Blade really needed to get out. Sorry, he mumbled as he shoved open the door, his wife screaming. Eventually, he made it back to his room, and just like before he slammed the door behind him, he was extra careful not to enter the wrong room this time. So the similar posters of his emo bands gave him great comfort. Today's been so bad so far, he started to mumble to himself. Most teenage girls who have questionable taste would find this amazing, which I can't understand at all. Why would a bunch of killers and supernatural creatures ever live in a mansion together? It doesn't make sense. Didn't Mrs. Keene say that psychopaths wouldn't like each other at one point? I'm at a complete loss, and I am fucked. Without Rose, I have no idea how to control this. He sighed and fell onto his bed. It was still morning, so he had a long day ahead. Author's note. So this one is kind of short because I ran out of ideas. If you have any, please comment below. Like, seriously. And that's the end of the story. Is it? Yes, it is. That's the end of the story.
Oh, can you link it in the chat, Aren't?
All right. Oh, here's a comment. Do your goddamn research. Continue, Soph. That's what Soph was about to say.
No, I'm not. I just... I don't know.
I'm just being a smart ass right now. Thank God that shit's over, man. I would...
What's interesting is he has gay powers, but then he only uses it once at the mansion. So they built it up, and the kind of was like, well, wow, the author didn't know how to end the story. That's the thing.
Sometimes it's kind of better at, sometimes I think it's kind of better at ended this way.
No, I even bad stories, I don't like them to hang on cliffhangers. It's like Like, at least end it. Like, just have a like something prepared. It's like Harvester. People are like, Harvester makes no sense. And then it was like, oh, well, at least the ending makes sense. But now you're giving me two terrible choices.
Like, no matter what choice you get, you're pretty much fucked.
Yes. Oh, God, if we ever played that game on here.
Because there's already gameplay of it already on YouTube.
I mean, at least YouTube allows it. That's the thing. Like, they take down Doki Doki Literature Club, but not Harvester.
Well, that's bull. And we've tried Doki Doki Literature Club too, dude.
Well, yeah, well, we got kicked off. Well, YouTube was like, nope, you can't continue this story. And it was like right during the pandemic, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is available on Steam, so technically I could buy Harvester for, I think, like $2. I can't imagine it being any more expensive.
Oh, you know, something like I have to check my other stuff too, because I don't know how much I bought. I don't know how much I bought my other games like Death Road to Canada or even that amazing wagon adventure. Well, since we already got like 3 minutes left.
Thankfully, I mean, we gotta wait another Friday. But I am hoping to get all my computer parts by the beginning of this week, and then I gotta go computer desk shopping. So, because I have to get one that can fit a 27-inch monitor. I thought my friend was going to get me like a dual computer monitors, but no, that's just going to be like one big long one. And then he's going to actually build it, and so I'll get to see that process again. And I haven't seen that in 10 years. So, and once that's up, it'll be like Windows 11 and shit, and it'll be like it'll be powerful than the one I currently have. So I'm looking forward to it. But in that time period, we're going to call it a night then, because we got to end the show because it's 10 o'clock over here. So what we'll do is you can do all the algorithm stuff, because that's what the algorithm. What's like, you can't do anything talented anymore. You just got to feed the capitalist machine that is the algorithm in order to big on this thing. So do that, and we'll catch you all next Friday. Good night, people. See you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.